Greetings, my tacticians! While normally I would prepare videos which mention how to assemble a team or create powerful teams for various online competitions or even VGC 2017, this guide and the following guides will help you to understand the inner mechanics behind a team composition that my previous team building guides don't discuss or explain. For example, what are sweepers? Why don't most teams just comprise of one type of Pokemon? Or even why do people use some Pokemon without any offensive attacks? So, without further ado, welcome to Tactical Knowledge's Guides to Competitive Pokemon. So, what exactly makes a team competitive for any format? And what is it about them that makes them suited for these teams? This can be broken down in my perspective into 5 stages. Now, before I get into details, let me just remind you that this is my opinion based on how I view and compete in competitive Pokemon. Other people's perspectives may be different from mine, but for me, I view it as these 5 stages. The battle format the team will be competing in, the categories each Pokemon belongs to, the roles each Pokemon will serve on the team, what threats each one is meant to deal with, and finally the overall synergy the team has as a whole. I will explain each of these stages in their own video, and the first stage will be relatively short, but will be no less informative than the following videos. Now, getting to the first stage is probably the easiest to explain out of them all, the battle format. The team lineup that would normally work in a singles battle might not work in a doubles battle, and vice versa. To use an example, a popular strategy is combining Clefairy's ability Friend Guard in doubles to protect Eevee from being knocked out, so it can use its Z move and use the move Follow Me to redirect any attacks that might knock out or stop Eevee to allow it to safely set up and baton pass the stats it gains to the next Pokemon. This strategy works in doubles, but does not work in singles, as what makes Clefairy strong in doubles makes it weak and ineffective in singles, as Eevee will be alone in trying to set up and baton press and won't be able to receive the benefits of that ability. To use another example, Cloyster's strategy to use Shell Smash to set up in singles is an excellent way to prepare your Pokemon to sweep while using its skilling ability to deal massive damage. However, when put into a doubles format, Cloyster's strategy means that it must spend one entire turn just setting up, exposing itself to not just one but 2 possible counterattacks before it has a chance to attack. While there is no Pokemon that does not work in a doubles format or singles format, strategies that work well in one area but fail in another are what you need to consider when choosing Pokemon for your team. Each Pokemon has an overall tactic and role that they fulfill that they can't change. However, a trainer can reshape and alter slightly what it is that they do that another player might not consider even doing. Therefore, when you want to enter a competitive Pokemon battle, be aware of what format you are going to be competing in, whether it's just a friendly competition or a serious battle. To use a previously mentioned Pokemon as another example, when people see a Cloyster on the team in singles, they will expect it to be wearing a white herb to restore its lowered stats after it sets up a Shell Smash, or even a Focus Sash so it doesn't faint before it has a chance to use those stats. However, if you bring Cloyster in a doubles battle and try to do this, they will focus it down as quickly as possible with 2 combined attacks, taking advantage of the turn you try and set up. Cloyster's Shell Smash and skilling strategy is powerful, but don't forget what Cloyster is, a powerful, physically defensive Pokemon that is meant to set up. What kind of setup you have it do is your decision, but this is where Cloyster excels. It can either set itself up to sweep, or set up entry hazards that your opponent must deal with throughout the battle. A strategy most people won't see coming is a doubles battles Cloyster, whose sole purpose is to use its powerful defenses to set up spikes and toxic spikes on the opponent's field. while absorbing physical attacks and misdirecting your opponent into what your real team strategy is. Well, that takes care of the first stage in regards to how I prepare for competitive Pokemon battles. In my next video, I'll discuss the categories each Pokemon belongs to, and why you can't rely solely on one particular category all the time when battling, and how you need to balance your team with Pokemon from each category. I'll see you in the next video, Tacticians. Until then, stay tuned.